On the morning of January 17, 1995, the city of Kobe, nestled between the mountains and the sea, was just beginning to wake up. Residents prepared for another busy day, unaware that life was about to change forever. At 5:46 a.m., without warning, the ground began to tremble violently as a powerful earthquake struck the region. Known as the Great Hanshin earthquake, this disaster would leave Kobe and surrounding areas in ruins, claiming thousands of lives and changing the landscape of Japan. In just 20 seconds, the city that had stood for centuries was devastated, and the lives of its people were thrown into chaos.
The earthquake, measuring 7.3 on the Richter scale, struck directly beneath the densely populated Hanshin region, a vital economic hub. The epicenter was near the northern tip of Awaji Island, just 20 kilometers away from Kobe. The tremors lasted only a few seconds, but the shaking was intense and catastrophic. Buildings crumbled, bridges collapsed, and roads split open. The Great Hanshin Expressway, an elevated highway, toppled sideways, leaving vehicles suspended precariously. Kobe's famous port was also heavily damaged, with massive cracks forming along the waterfront and entire sections sinking into the sea. The destruction was staggering, and it was immediately clear that the city had suffered a disaster on an unimaginable scale.
The human toll of the Great Hanshin earthquake was immense. Over 6,400 people lost their lives, and tens of thousands were injured. More than 300,000 people were left homeless as their homes lay in ruins or became unsafe to inhabit. Fires broke out across the city, fueled by ruptured gas lines and wooden structures, quickly spreading through the narrow streets of Kobe's older neighborhoods. Firefighters were overwhelmed, and without adequate water supply, they struggled to contain the blazes. Families searched desperately for loved ones among the rubble, and survivors, many trapped under collapsed buildings, cried out for help. The scene in Kobe was one of heartbreak and horror as people faced the devastating loss of life and property.
The scale of the disaster quickly overwhelmed local authorities, and the response was hampered by communication breakdowns and damaged infrastructure. Roads, railways, and communication lines had been destroyed, making it difficult to reach affected areas or coordinate rescue efforts. Despite the efforts of emergency responders, survivors were forced to wait hours, sometimes days, for help. Many citizens, armed with nothing but shovels and their bare hands, began digging through rubble themselves to search for family members and neighbors. In the face of overwhelming tragedy, communities came together, demonstrating remarkable resilience and solidarity, but the challenges were daunting. Japan had faced earthquakes before, but nothing on this scale had hit an urban center in decades.
As night fell on Kobe, fires continued to rage across the city, especially in densely populated neighborhoods with traditional wooden houses. Fueled by gas leaks and exacerbated by broken water mains, these fires spread rapidly, consuming entire blocks. Without access to water or working fire hydrants, firefighters and volunteers struggled to control the infernos. For many, the fires were as terrifying as the quake itself, as they watched homes and businesses burn to the ground, helpless to stop the flames. The combination of earthquake damage and uncontrolled fires made the Great Hanshin earthquake one of the deadliest and most destructive disasters in Japan's modern history.
As news of the earthquake spread, Japan received an outpouring of support from around the world. International aid organizations, along with Japan's self-defense forces and emergency services, mobilized quickly, sending food, water, medical supplies, and personnel to assist with the relief efforts. Volunteers from across Japan and around the globe poured into Kobe, eager to help those affected. Temporary shelters were set up to house the thousands of people who had lost their homes, and local businesses provided essential supplies. The outpouring of solidarity helped the people of Kobe begin to heal, but the path to recovery was long and filled with hardship. The community's resilience shone through as they banded together to rebuild their lives from the ashes.
In the aftermath of the earthquake, Kobe faced the daunting task of rebuilding. The damage to infrastructure, including the port, railways, highways, and buildings, was estimated at over $100 billion. Reconstructing the city required enormous resources, time, and dedication. The Japanese government implemented stricter building codes and seismic standards to ensure that future structures would be better equipped to withstand earthquakes. Engineers and architects worked tirelessly to rebuild Kobe in a way that honored its heritage while embracing modern technology and design. While the recovery process took years, Kobe's rebirth became a symbol of resilience and determination, showing the world that the city could rise stronger from tragedy.
The Great Hanshin earthquake forever changed Japan's approach to disaster preparedness and response. The disaster highlighted the importance of rapid, coordinated relief efforts and prompted the government to establish more robust disaster management protocols. In the years that followed, Japan invested heavily in emergency preparedness, from early warning systems to regular earthquake drills in schools and workplaces. The quake also led to the development of new building technologies, including shock-absorbent structures and earthquake-resistant designs. These advancements made Japan a global leader in disaster resilience, as the lessons learned from Kobe were applied nationwide and shared with other countries vulnerable to earthquakes.
Every year, on January 17th, the people of Kobe gather to remember those lost in the earthquake. The city holds a memorial ceremony, lighting thousands of lanterns in honor of the victims and to symbolize hope for the future. The Kobe Earthquake Memorial Park was created as a tribute to the lives lost and the resilience of the survivors. Today, the story of the Great Hanshin earthquake remains a powerful reminder of the unpredictable forces of nature and the strength of the human spirit. Though the city has been rebuilt, the memory of that tragic morning is forever etched into the hearts of those who lived through it and the families who lost loved ones.
The Great Hanshin earthquake taught the world about the importance of preparation, compassion, and community. The people of Kobe, united by a shared tragedy, rebuilt their city from the ground up, transforming their grief into a legacy of strength and resilience. The lessons learned from Kobe continue to shape disaster preparedness efforts worldwide, making communities safer and more resilient in the face of natural disasters. The spirit of Kobe lives on as a beacon of hope, a reminder that even in the darkest moments, humanity has the strength to rise, rebuild, and honor those who were lost.